And welcome back to Supa-Liga Futsal Centre. This game here tonight, we have the final game of the MSL season, or at least for 2025, and it's Inter Perth taking on South Perth Alliance. As now Bergamy will take it down the line, and that will go out. And it will be an Inter Perth ball. And this game promises to be a huge clash, especially in regards to the ladder ramifications. Inter Perth, and that ball's turned over. South Perth with a chance on the counter. Ends up with Alagoda. Alagoda can't finish it. But Inter Perth sitting in second on the ladder, and I don't know about the result currently in the Cumbre game, but a win tonight at least would put them on top of the ladder, and they do also have a game in hand. While South Perth are still trying to find a spot in that top six. If they can get a win tonight, they will be able to jump a few teams. They'll be able to jump ahead of Phoenix, Braza, the Arkham Eagles, depending on their game against their game coming up, and Perth United. So they'll be able to jump up potentially into the top six here tonight if South Perth can upset Inter. But I must mention, Inter Perth have not lost a regular season game in 2 full seasons of futsal since they changed their name from the Northern Hawks. Their only 2 losses did come in the playoffs. So they are a force to be reckoned with, Inter Perth, as we move now through the team lineups for this evening. For South Perth in goals, it's number 99, Nantawat Rangswang, Justin Pearce, number 10, Bo Haynes, number 5, Kichi Kato, number 15, James Toss, number 33, Killian Peru, 48, Luca Bergamy, number 7, Lachlan De Silva, 19, Benji McHale, 17, Jamie George, 13, Nixon Dindiol, number 32, as we move now on to... That ball bounces around a bit. The lineups for Inter Perth. Inter Perth have Daniel Formato, number 77, Amar Jahel, 19. There is Formato, speaking of him, clearing that from goals. One of the better keepers, probably the best keeper in this league, in the state. Amar Jahel, 19. Sean Alagoda, number 17, scored the winning goal, or was a big part of the winning goal against Arkham Eagles 2 weeks ago. Ches Houston, number 4. Rory Wilkinson, 33. Urali Azimi, 21. Kyle Lander, 10. Chandra Nagendram, number 23. Yanis Hamadi, 31. Raiden Tran, 22. And Daniel Ryan, number 34. Rounding up both team lineups for the evening, as now South Perth. They've found some form recently. Can they find a way through this star-studded Inter Perth lineup? Here is Nagendran. Alagoda keeps it in. Nice bit of footwork. Gives it out to Jahel. Bergamy comes flying in. Jahel still on it, Jahel! And almost Nagendran at the back post. Almost the back of the net, but neither in the end.
10, Superman. Slide.
Here's a long ball by Rangswan. Cleared by the head of Ches Houston. And it'll be brought back in now by South Perth through Bo Haynes. Haynes straight into the lap of Dan Formato. Long ball, but Pearce is there. And you see that South Perth have started to really get a few of their players back over the past few weeks, and despite the slow start to the season, they are back and they are a chance to make a push for finals. And what a way it would be to end their 2025 by beating Inter Perth, the premier team in the league, at least for this season.
Deshaun, next.
Alagoda received from Hamadi. Hamadi now on. He'll get it back here. He'll go out to Nagendran. Nagendran to Hamadi. Now Alagoda. Hamadi. Alagoda goes down. Now Bergamy on the counter to get back for Inter. Haynes comes in and he'll retreat, going all the way back. Finding Peru, Bergamy, Haynes, Pearce. Yes, now Bergamy through ball. Almost found Haynes it was, but nicely done by Hamadi defensively, and Hamadi now takes off. He'll go to Houston. On comes Azimi for Inter. Houston with a shot. Big save by Rung Swan. Just swatting that one away. Azimi now to Hamadi. Hamadi, nice feint. Gets a shot off, and that's wide left. And it'll be Rung Swan's ball. And now James Toth on for South Perth, and Dindior's ball out of the reach of everyone. And it'll be taken by Hamadi from the sideline. What a star-studded lineup. Inter do have so much depth on the bench. So they're going to be hard to beat. The Arkham Eagles were so close to doing it 2 weeks ago, but the heroics of Dan Formato played a big part in not letting that undefeated streak continue. And that almost beat Formato, but it looks like it'll be brought back anyway.
Next one.
McHale is now on. Benji McHale. Can he have an impact here tonight? Also on is Lachlan De Silva for South Perth. Here's Hamadi. Hamadi, nice bit of footwork. Trying to take on De Silva. And he gets past De Silva, gets a shot off. And it catches a bit of woodwork inside net. And it'll be a South Perth ball. South Perth have come to play, you can tell, for this game here tonight against such quality opposition. Azimi, Houston comes off for a rest. Kyle Lander now on, and Lander takes on De Silva. He'll take a shot, will he? He will! And almost, big save there, Rung Swan. Here is Hamadi. Hamadi, does he get it through? Syed. Chance, Azimi in the block. Stopping that shot. Here's Lander. Hamadi. Hamadi with a shot. Big block there by Lachlan De Silva.
Amir, make sure we're second post.
He'll be brought back in by Lander. Lander, Syed now. Looking Syed on in his second game back from his break after getting married a few weeks ago. Now Hamadi. Hamadi tries to get Toth to jump. Does. But now the turnover. McHale on the counter. Here's the chance for De Silva for the first goal of the evening. Can't beat Formato. Massive chance for De Silva, and just couldn't get it past Dan Formato. Dindior to McHale. Nice little first touch and gets a shot off, but too high. Formato. Long ball. Azimi, he'll finish it. And Inter, somehow it hasn't gone in. It looked almost a certainty to go in. He got the chip over the top, and I could have almost guaranteed that was going in, but in the end, just wide right. Hamadi, Lander, Dindior. What a game. This started off being frantic. McHale, wide left. And the South Perth crowd, they've come out in full force here tonight from Lakelands. Here is Hamadi, down the line, Toth there, up to the task. Hamadi, Lander, he'll go to Syed. Syed to Lander, back to Syed, or the attempted back ball back to Syed, couldn't get through to him. And that ball was high. Hamadi. Nice defense there by McHale. Now Toth. Good defense by Azimi. Syed to Lander. Hamadi pressured by Mikhail. All the way back now in the high press by South Perth, causing problems. Did that stay in? It didn't. And South Perth causing a few problems for Inter in defence. This is the start they wanted. And that ball's out of the reach of Toff. Alagoda now back on for Inter. Hamadi, the man to come off. Nice movement. Syed. Jahel. Still going Jahel. Gets a shot off and Rung Swung makes the save.
Rory, far post.
Awkward ball for him to try and grab one grab. Wasn't able to, but in the end, thwarting it away. Forcing the corner. Syed, Alagoda, and that one will go out. Now Mikhail, Pearce back on. Justin Pearce for Inter. Bergamy looking like he's ready as well to come back on soon. And a strong high press defence there by Ahmad Jahel. Rung Swan now. He'll find on the roll. Here is Bergamy, as I mentioned. Chance here, Peru. He'll reset to Pearce. Bergamy, Mikhail under pressure. And Jahel forces the turnover. Mikhail now off, Haynes on.
Make sure we don't give him that easy ball, Nick.
Wilkinson on for Inter. Here's Alagoda. Alagoda with a shot, wide left.
Rory, if he cuts in, move to goal. Everybody. If someone's fucking going goal, move to goal.
Long ball by Bergamy, can that get through? No. Cleared in the end by Formato. Wasn't happy with the clearance, went straight up into the roof and into the possession of South Perth Alliance.
That's perfect. Thank you. Rory. Now go.
Here's Pearce. Receives from Peru, now gives back to Peru. Now Haynes, that's dangerous. Still on it though. There's the turnover. Jahel pounces. And the save made by Rung Swung. I mentioned the first ball was dangerous, the second one was worse. The turnover was pounced on by the speed of Ahmad Jahel. Here's Wilkinson. Jahel, shot blocked. Ball gets through, Bergamy there. But just out of his reach, couldn't keep it in. And Jahel will bring it back in. In fact, that's Syed on that far flank. Alagoda, long ball, turns it over. Now Pearce gets it through to Haynes, does he? No, just out of his reach. But nice bit of play. And you can feel the intensity in the arena here tonight in Subiaco. Here is Alagoda. Alagoda down the line, ends up with Bergamy. Bergamy takes off, here goes down. Wilkinson now, Jahel. Syed through to Alagoda, and I think he tried to get that through to Syed, but nowhere near him. But nice idea there. They'll reset. Rung Swan with a long ball. Peru. Once again, that ball was way out of the reach of the target.
Rory, straight down. Straight down.
Here's Formato. Formato with a long ball. Pearce. Haynes. The foot in there defensively by Wilkinson was good. And Haynes will start with it again. Bergamy long ball to Pearce. Pearce, I think he was expecting the run on from Bergamy, but he didn't receive that run. Alagoda to Syed. Syed long ball through to Wilkinson, and if he could have just controlled it, he was 1-on-1 with Rung Swan. But a great idea. Here's a chance. Haynes! Bo Haynes probably could have had a shot, tried to find Bergamy, but couldn't get it done. Alagoda, can he get it square? No. Straight to Rung Swan.
Don't dive in.
Now Peru down the line. Keeps it in, but straight to Wilkinson. Alagoda will pounce. Alagoda hits the post. And now the ball goes out.
Rory, right.
Burgamy and South Perth under a high press. Alligator putting all sorts of pressure on Burgamy. Burgamy takes it down the line really well. In fact, across the face of goals. Finding Peru. And Peru can't keep it in. Great defence by Wilkinson. Syed. Jahel, in fact, to Alligator. Now Syed. Houston. Long ball. Jahel was in the vicinity but didn't get through. Rungswan. Pierce.
Jump.
Hits. Haynes on the way through to Peru. Chance for Houston. And the turnover almost proving costly as Syed comes off for Interperth. Nagendran on. Houston. Turnover. Alligator and Jahel involved there. Couldn't keep it. Jahel gets back brilliantly. Now cuts two defenders in half. He'll go to Houston. Houston now finding Alligator. This is a chance. Saved by Rungswan and cleared. And Inter now gaining a bit of momentum. And here the substitution made. Jamie George, the youngster, on for South Perth. Houston. Alligator. Jahel still going. Cleared by Burgamy. And brought back in. Here's Jahel. Chance. Block off the Houston shot. But Inter will get another opportunity. Here it is. Jahel to Houston. Houston back to Jahel. Jahel gets it through to Houston on the left. And couldn't get it on target. But what a frantic opening 10 minutes of play we've seen. We'll go to the timeout. And with 10 minutes remaining in this, and with the timeout now called, what a 10 minutes of futsal we've got to come to finish off this first half. Rungswan had a huge game last week, and he ended up finding himself a spot in the team of the week. He managed to have a huge impact in the 4-2 victory for South Perth Alliance over Perth United Futsal Club. And what a performance it was. And he's started this game in fine form. He's come out like a keeper on fire. That's a house on fire. But he's come out phenomenally and managed to really keep his team afloat in this game. The amount of chances that Interperth have had, whilst South Perth Alliance have also had the opportunities, Inter have really peppered away at the goals, and a number of them have been on target. And Rungswan has been there. He is one of the premier goalkeepers in the league.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
It's always good to see in this league how strong the competition is. Really, every single keeper in the MSL, pretty much every single keeper in the league is of such high standard and routinely make unbelievable saves. Obviously, some teams aren't as high up the ladder as others, and some keepers are forced to do more work. But get to see, we're very lucky to see a great quality. Dan Formato as well, he was the keeper of the week, finding a spot in the team of the week, and it was Rungswan coming off the bench, and Formato so often finds himself in that team of the week, and that came off Interperth last week, and Alligator tries to go down the line, and he does. Foul will be called, I think, on Mikhail. Interperth last week absolutely demolished Phoenix Futsal 10-2, and Formato had an impact in that game, as evidenced by the scoreline. Here is Nagendran, cleared by Toth. Alligator, and ball's lost. Mikhail, Alligator, can he win it back? Fighting very hard there is Jamie George. Alagoda still though, taking on the whole team. Alagoda, Jahel, now George. Mikhail, can he keep it in? He can, but down the line. And he'll win a little bit of territory, but it's still a Ches Houston ball. Nagendran. Chance and wide left. Thought for a moment that shot by Alagoda was on target, but just wide. Here's Pierce. Long ball, out of the reach of everyone. And we saw it last week, Inter put so much pressure on Phoenix and they had no answers. And so far here tonight, while South Perth haven't been able to control a lot of the ball, they have been able to create a few chances of their own, but it has definitely been an Inter-controlled game. Jahel tries to get it through to Nagendran, but Pierce up to the task. Amar Jahel. Out to Houston, or back to Houston, back to Jahel now. He wanted the run by Hamadi. He ended up going back to Hamadi, and a nice little skillful pass with the
Amar, if he didn't go, just play the fucking
behind his leg with his right boot and ended up finding the target. Now there he is. Can't get onto it there, Hamadi. Now Mikhail taking on the whole team. Still going, Mikhail. Still going, now lost it. Jahel got in there. Now Nagendran, back to Jahel. Jahel has Hamadi. Can't get it through to him. Toth. Takes his time, gets it to Mikhail, who does a good job keeping it in. But now Inter will reset. Houston, Jahel. Hamadi is always great with his feet. He will now get it to Houston, and that ball cleared into the broadcast area. And it will be still Inter's ball. Then Alliance are having a really challenging time trying to gain a bit of possession and ascendancy in this match. But no damage done as of yet. Here's Houston down the far flank. He'll get a shot off. In fact, he'll go the pass. Mikhail wins it. Now Pierce on the counter, waiting for the cavalry to arrive. Gets the shot off, and wide right. And Formato seemed to have that covered anyway. But a nice bit of play for South Perth to build some confidence from. Hamadi. Left by Nagendran. Houston through. Nagendran leaves for Lander. Lander, can he stay on it? Did for a while. Ended up with Pierce, who couldn't find George.
Hi, if you haven't got behind him, you've got to come and show your feet.
Our ball doesn't get through, and I don't really know where Hamadi was looking. I think he might have maybe expected the run from Lander, but there was no one there. Now Rungswan. Toth. Across the face of goals, dangerously. Almost pounced on, and that was extremely dangerous by James Toth. But no damage done. Formato. He might have a shot himself, he does. Nagendran got in the way of it. Couldn't get a shot off. Formato out of goals. He'll get back. Lander now, he'll get a shot off. And that one's wide. And somehow South Perth are hanging on.
Dan, that's you.
Keep in mind, this is a battle between, well, technically first on the ladder with a game in hand, second on the ladder with a game in hand, taking on 10th. So there is a ladder differential, but South Perth, as I mentioned, I'd like to say they're better than what their ladder position does suggest. Lander, he'll go out, finding Houston. Houston to Lander. Now back to Houston. Can he get it there? No. Haynes as well. But Houston somehow still finds it. Dindiol. And that's out of the reach of his intended target. Couldn't get it there to Lachlan De Silva. Houston comes off for a rest. Azimi on. Here's Hamadi. Hamadi long ball. Gets it to Nagendran. Nagendran has a run from Hamadi. Goes that direction. But De Silva as well. Back to Nagendran though. Azimi. Lander. Through to Hamadi. He needs some options. He'll get that option in Lander. But Burgundy pounces. He'll make Hamadi miss. But couldn't find Haynes. Nagendran. And we take a breather as play steadies for a moment. Just as I say that, I think the reason why this game has been so frantic is both teams are implementing a high press. You'd think that will steady later on in this game in the second half, because it is very, very tiring work to be doing that for a whole game. But as a result of that, there's been no possession from either team really in the defensive half. And there's a chance! And Haynes catches Woodworks. And imagine if that went in, all the opportunities for Inter. And almost a corner given when there was no contact from the Inter defence. But what a chance that was. Lander, saved by Runswan, still a chance. Runswan will get that. He'll go long. Haynes keeps it in. Can he pass onto it? De Silva ends up with it. And big block by, that was Lukman Saeed forcing the corner. Lander off, Wilkinson on for Inter. De Silva through. Azimi there. Hamadi involved. Wilkinson, one-on-one. And it's a goal! Lukman Saeed. And he gets up and about. I believe that may be his first goal back. I may be wrong. But since returning, Lukman Saeed has an impact one-on-one with Runswan. And they did deserve that goal. Inter. They had a lot of possession. And finally, the damn wall was bound to break.
Boys, that's only one.
1-0 into Perth. Dindial, Bo Haynes. Now Bergamy. He'll go back to De Silva. Now Dindial on that far flank. Can he keep it in? We didn't need to. It's going to be an alliance ball. Saeed with the one defending.
Amir left. Don't break, yeah? Stay together.
Bergamy, nice first touch, blocked by Hamadi.
Make sure your body's open so you can see him. Position was good, but body open.
Here's Dindial. Dindial down the line. Hamadi gets there. Does well, ends up with Azimi, 2-on-1. Can he get it through to Wilkinson? He took too long. Haynes there. Azimi now does well to get it to Saeed. Hamadi goes down, foul called on Bergamy. Saeed to Hamadi. Hamadi, Azimi. Hamadi tries to get it back to Saeed, but too much height on that. Now Bergamy. Wilkinson is well defending the Wilkinson ball, and that ball just cleared by Rang Swan. Here is a nice defensive play there from Bergamy on Azimi. Bergamy there, as is Haynes. Haynes through the middle, gives it off. De Silva, can he square it? He attempted it, but Saeed up to the task. And it'll be a corner ball for South Perth Alliance. Dindial might take. He will, but Wilkinson comes flying in. Here's Haynes. Haynes into the middle. Chance. And Bergamy at the back post couldn't get it done.
Rory, to your left. Rory, to your left. Left.
Haynes with the corner for Alliance. He'll go in. Dangerous spot. Cleared by Azimi.
Amir, Yanis next.
Will still be an Alliance ball. And now into defence. De Silva through as well to get it to Pearce. Haynes, McHale now, one for Alliance. McHale to Pearce.
Hold on, Rory.
Back to McHale. McHale might lose it. Manages to keep on possession. Now he loses it dangerously. Wilkinson, Saeed, Azimi. Back to Hamadi. He goes right then left. Ends up going left. Pearce, McHale, Nice bit of play, Pierce. Now cuts to his right, shot, and almost, and for the second time in this half, the post prevents Alliance's opening goal. And they need to find this next one. They don't want to go down 2 goals against the side of the quality of Inter. Haynes. And that ball is going to be turned over. Ball was moving. And it's an Inter possession. Syed will go long. Catches Haynes on the way through. Wilkinson gets the last touch. And South Perth get possession through McHale. McHale, Pierce, De Silva opened it up a bit, gave Syed an opportunity, but now McHale, De Silva, Pierce, back to De Silva. Can they now take off? Can they find a way through the press? Pierce, McHale, gets past Syed, chance for South Perth. And that one straight into the hands of Dan Formato. Alagoda, Wilkinson, nice bit of touch there by Jahel, but lost it in the end. But he'll mop up his mess and win it back.
Not down.
And Runks one will end up with it after that long ball. Pierce, Haynes, Pierce. Nice ball by McHale, finding Pierce. Syed, that'll be off him, and he can't keep it in. Disappointed with himself there, looking Syed. De Silva, chance for Haynes, and just out of the reach of Pierce. As Wilkinson off, Houston on, Syed off, and Nagendran on for Inter.
Stand in front.
Long ball, gets to Nagendran.
Good ball, Dan.
Nagendran, Pierce.
Dan, it's okay.
And foul called against Pierce. In fact, it's going to be a South Perth Alliance ball. That's now 3 fouls for South Perth though. And it's still none, must have been just out on that far flank. Pierce, long ball, over the head of everyone. And now into the possession of Dan Formato. Long ball, that goes straight into the air, and now Runks one. Runks one to Pierce. Now McHale. McHale's so good at getting down the line, and we saw that when he took on Lukman Syed and managed to take him down the line, creating a chance, but couldn't beat Formato on that occasion. Now Inter moving the ball in defence. Houston, and out of the reach of Nagendran. Peru, Pierce, McHale. Poor touch there, and he's not happy with himself. Gifting the possession back to Inter. Houston to Jahel. Alagoda. Houston down the line, can't keep it in. Tried to take on Peru. Didn't do a terrible job, but just ran out of real estate. Now Pierce. Pierce to McHale. McHale gets it through. Peru, great defence by Nishan Alagoda. And on for South Perth is Kichi Kato. McHale, can he get past Jahel? He can, chance! And couldn't get enough on the shot. Peru down the line, and McHale calling for the foul, but didn't get rewarded for that effort. Timeout looks like it will be called in just a moment. Right, into Perth. Dangerous here, Houston to Nagendran. Long ball, ends up with Nagendran, and a foul called. There is the Inter-Perth timeout in what has been a hectic almost 18 minutes of play here at Subiaco Futsal Centre in WA. 1 goal is the lead for Inter. South Perth are right in this game and they've had a number of chances and they're really making the most at the moment of the counter-attack. As you hear Coach Greg Farrell not happy with his Inter Perth play. You see that in the bottom left of the screen. He is not happy.
Just fucking run it, training. Or let's play with the damn ball. Let's not.
But we've got a huge couple minutes of futsal to come. And a very passionate display there by Greg Farrell. We saw something similar from John Goodlich for the West Coast Cobras in the game just prior to this one. Will Inter respond? They still do have the lead, but they've been under the pump. And Dan Formato has been asked to carry a lot of the load in the last few minutes. Made a number of big saves and probably could be down in this game. Rung Swan has done his fair share of work on that other end, only conceding 1. Early he was under the pump. Now Toth takes it through the middle and out of the reach of Cato.
Jan, all the way.
Houston. Jahel. Alagoda. Back to Jahel. Now Nagendran, long ball, good one is it? Can it find Alagoda? No. Pierce manages to get there and use his body brilliantly.
There was still 2 back here, yeah?
And it was a good ball, but you can't really do much when you've got someone of the experience of Justin Pierce. Managing to just shield the ball all the way into touch. Houston, Alagoda, back to Houston. Tried to find Alagoda, but Alagoda hadn't made that run yet. But not a bad idea. Now Pierce, through the middle, finds Peru and can't get it to Toth. Just couldn't find the connection, Peru and Toth. Alagoda now for Inter, Jahel. Uses Nagendran back to Alagoda. Now down the line goes Ches Houston. Back to Jahel. Big save by Rung Swan. And that's what they want, Inter. Big shot, but Rung Swan coming out of that a little bit sore. But he has had a huge game so far tonight. Jahel, big block made there by Pierce. Jahel gets it through! Is it in? It went through Rung Swan's legs off the deflection and almost found the back of the net, but somehow South Perth survived. And Jahel all the way back to Formato. Jahel, Alagoda, Houston. Jahel, now Houston again. In the final 60 seconds of play here at Subiaco. Alagoda. And you see how well they're moving the ball here. Inter haven't made a lot of territory gain. And now they'll lose it. They have moved it so well until that turnover. Alagoda through to Houston. Houston back to Alagoda. And what a play that was. And Alagoda inches away from the second of the night for Inter. Justin Pierce. Luca Bergamy now on for South Perth. Pierce to Toth, through to Cato. Cato loses it. Houston onto it and dangerously almost gave it straight back to Bergamy. But they'll keep the ball as Hamadi comes on for Alagoda. 17.5 seconds to go in this first half of futsal. Down the line goes Hamadi, and that was a heavy fall. Foul called on Bergamy. Foul called there. Hamadi, nice flick down the line, and Pierce comes in and just smacks that away. Goes straight past Luca Bergamy, and Pierce was having none of it. A nice bit of skill there by Hamadi. Jahel. Combined with Nagendran now, Hamadi. Now back to Jahel. Nagendran. Amar Jahel, and I think they either lost track of the time or they weren't too fast. And they're happy to take a 2-goal lead into this halftime break. In fact, a 1-goal lead. 1-0 is the lead for Inter Perth. Don't leave your seats. We've got a big second half coming up. So we'll be back with you after a short ad break.
Futsal WA has social futsal competitions 5 nights a week at Mount Lawley and West Perth. Whether you're an individual or have a group of mates who want to play, there's a junior, men's, women's or mixed competition that will suit you. Contact us to get involved in futsal, an action-packed sport and the fastest growing sport in Australia.
And welcome back for the second half and the final half of futsal for 2025 in the MSL. South Perth have a 1-goal lead or deficit in fact, to overcome. And here they go on that mission. Bo Haynes out to Mikhail, now goes to Peru. In fact, it was De Silva who loses it. De Silva wins it back, and Mikhail, I think he thought Pierce was a bit further away from him than he actually was, and couldn't get it to him. Houston, Jahel, Mikhail on the intercept and can't keep it in. Tamati tried to get that to Houston and he was nowhere near it. Pierce gets that out to Haynes in the end. Mikhail down and play will be stopped. And I think Mikhail was not happy, saying there might have been an elbow, maybe from Nagendran. Don't know if it was Hamadi or Nagendran. I think it was Nagendran that was near, but I may be wrong. And Mikhail not happy, but he's up and good to see he's okay. Haynes to Mikhail. Haynes. Mikhail leaves for Rungswan to clear in the end. Dangerous and almost punished. Pierce basically gave it straight to Jahel, almost like he was wearing a blue shirt. And somehow they survive South Perth. And it's been such a strong defensive game from both teams. That turnover, though, is not what Alliance are after. Here's Mikhail. Mikhail with a long ball. Can he get it through? Here's De Silva. Houston there. Houston wins it. Hamadi. Hamadi to Jahel. Nice little ball by Nagendran. Pushed by Mikhail. Called. Down went Hamadi. And that will be a foul. That'll be the first foul of this second half for South Perth. And a chance for Inter to get right back into this game, to extend this lead. And South Perth, if they do want to get right back into this game, they can ill afford to concede one here. And here is the opportunity. Hamadi, Houston, Jahel and Alagoda on right now. Hamadi leaves for Houston. Chance for Alagoda, almost missed the ball. Now on the counter, Dindial. Can he stay on it? He can, but wasteful. Went long, tried to find Haynes. Just out of his reach. Jahel, Alagoda, almost turns it over. De Silva was there. He almost won it back. Houston there, Formato. Long ball, almost had a shot, and Formato can do that. But Rungswan was there as he now gives to Haynes and can't beat Jahel. Pierce, Dindial. Strong by Alagoda. Still Alliance ball. De Silva to Pierce. De Helm putting pressure on. Dindial, can you get that through and out of the reach of De Silva on that far flank? As it's Formato's possession now for Inter. Amri Azimi on for Inter Perth. And he'll receive now if he can get to it, he can. He'll go all the way back now to Ahmad Jahel. That's a good ball. Hamadi's got a lot of space. Hamadi still. Hamadi! Inter lead 2-0. And what a finish. It was right there for Rungswan, but just couldn't get down. And the defence let a big hole open up for that shot. And Yanas Hamadi gives Inter a crucial 2-goal lead. And as I mentioned, 2 full seasons almost now, and they have not lost a single regular season matchup. And it's looking like that's going to continue here tonight unless South Perth can do something about it. Here's Haynes, down the line and shot. Big save by Formato, but what a run by Bo Haynes. And now it'll be De Silva to take the corner. Can they get through? De Silva through Dindial, blocked by Houston. He'll get a couple heads on it, as well as Zimi now with one. And Formato, Houston, long ball, gets it to Azimi. Azimi! And wide, what a chance gone begging. And they just need the next one, Alliance, to just stay in the game, stay in touch with Inter. De Silva, Pierce, long ball. No worries there for Inter. Houston. Hamadi. Nice bit of footwork. And he goes one way, then goes right, and the foul called on Dindial. Hamadi went down, and that's 2 now on Alliance. It's to be taken by Houston here. Here is the captain, Ches Houston. Houston with a shot! And not a bad attempt, just wide. But if that was on target, it would have taken some stopping from Rungswan. Rungswan. Off to Bergamy. Bergamy long ball. And Kato not there in time. And this will now be Ches Houston from the sideline. He'll go to Hamadi. Hamadi, nice feint. Gives it off. Azimi leaves for Lander. Lander down the line, now cuts in board. Does well to keep the ball. Brilliant by Kyle Lander. Houston, no reset. Hamadi takes it down the line himself now. Through to Lander. Lander loses it. Bergamy onto it. Is this going to be turned over? Kato manages to avoid that from happening. Now Mikhail looking for some options. Bergamy. He'll go to Toth. Toth under pressure from Azimi. He'll go inside. He'll find Kato. And now they've got some space. But Hamadi came in, and if Mikhail could have got onto that, they could have been out there. South Perth. Bergamy. Toth, and straight through his feet. Houston. Toth the beat. And he may have beaten him. And Rungswan comes flying in. Sliding in fact. Great effort there. Toth. Down the line, he's got the speed. Gets it there, chance, Kato! And he can't finish. Mikhail still, can he get a shot off? He won't, because Formato's gonna come out, take off out of goals, he'll lose it. And he'll get back in time. Big chance goes missing there. And there's Mikhail almost sliding through everybody, but not Formato. Hamadi, Saeed now one for Ches Houston. Now Saeed down the line. Bergamy to beat. Goes right. And Bergamy got the boot in. Back to Hamadi. Fakes the shot. Still going Hamadi.
Too much space, guys.
And 2 defenders now to beat. And in comes Kato and Mikhail. Last touch there off Kichi Kato. And now to be taken by Hamadi. 2 goals the lead, and we have gone just almost 5 minutes in this second half. Saeed with a shot. Block made, and Saeed will get it again. He'll keep it in. Gets it through almost. No. He tried to take on Mikhail. He was beat by Mikhail down this flank, and he tried to take him on that far flank, I believe. But Saeed is one of the only 2 goal scorers in this game. Bergamy. And probably could have gone to Toth first. And I expected the run, but too far away from Toth and too much speed on the pass. Azimi gets it to Lander. Brilliantly left there by Jahel. Now all sorts of space. And Lander, nice idea, but Saeed wasn't there. Just out of his reach. Rungswan. Long ball. Azimi gets a head on it and straight into the rafters. Now Peru. Ball is lost. Jahel. Bergamy. No foul called. Bergamy to Toth. Bergamy. Has he turned it over? He has. Azimi all the way back to Formato. Will he take off out of goals? Not the time for it now, he says, but he does do it on a number of occasions. I wouldn't be surprised later in the game if we do see that. Jahel all alone. Azimi. Chance, and he couldn't get anything on it. It wasn't Jahel, it was Saeed. But Saeed was wide open and he lost his footing there, Azimi. He had all the space in the world if he had just given it back or taken the shot earlier. But he lost his footing. He's had a good game so far, Azimi, but not on that occasion. Here is Jamie George. Mikhail. Haynes. Mikhail. Through George. Nice ball. Gets through to Haynes and they'll reset. Pierce with a shot. Nowhere near it. Formato to Jahel. Jahel turns it over. Saeed wasn't there. Pierce. And a chance for Alliance to rebuild. Haynes. Mikhail. Haynes turns it over. Wilkinson out to Saeed. Saeed will finish, Willie. He'll get it to Wilkinson. It's gone in. And it's cleared on the line. No goal. What a clearance by Bo Haynes. And we'll see on the replay, there was the Wilkinson pass. The Saeed pass to Wilkinson, almost bounced it in. Haynes slid in on the goal line. Unbelievable clearance of what looked like it was going to be a certain goal. And another goal for Inter Perth may almost make it start to feel like a bit too much to overcome for Alliance. They need the next one. It goes without saying. Lander. Shot from Wilkinson way over the crossbar. I believe wide right. Now it's Alliance's ball. Here's a long ball straight into the roof. Going to be taken by Ahmad Jahel. All of a sudden, Inter have a bit of momentum, starting to get a few shots off, putting pressure on Rungswan. But now on the counter, as I say that, Mikhail still going. Can he keep it in? He can, and he'll force Formato to take. Long ball by Formato, massive throw, and found the head of Wilkinson. What a ball. Could not have hit him any more smack bang on the head. Now Pierce. Pierce to George. George across the face of goals. Pierce to Mikhail. Pierce now. Haynes loses it. Ahmad Jahel squares it. Mikhail there. He may have to clear, and he will. Jahel, Alagoda, big block by Benji Mikhail. Jahel again. This one doesn't get through Mikhail as well. And that looks like it's going to be a corner. No, it'll be Southwest. In fact, it'll be a corner ball. for Inter Perth. 12.5 minutes remaining for South Perth to work themselves back into the game, but another goal from Inter will make that really tough. And that'll help Alliance. They got the chance now. See if they can put together a play, find their way through the defence. Haynes, and that ball wasn't a good one, but no damage done. McHale. Good ball. Finds Bergamy. Goes back to McHale, and Wilkinson read it like a book. And now he'll go long, and it might need to be cleared, and it is by Justin Pearce. And it'll be taken by Syed. Good ball, all the way through to Alagoda. Chance for Alagoda, and that's not on target, nowhere near it really. And Bo Haynes collecting that for Rungswan. Here's a long throw, and it couldn't quite get the distance on it and the accuracy to find Bergamy. Jahel, Syed, Wilkinson. Pearce comes in, impacts it, tries to spin Jahel, still going. And that'll be last touch off Pearce, but great work there by Justin Pearce. Long throw by Formato, what a ball! And just out of the reach of Amar Jahel, and South Perth might take off quick. And they do go quickly. And they might steady it now. They do. Bergamy, first touch pass, finding Pearce. Just got to him. McHale goes down. Wilkinson now. Foul called. And McHale gets the foul call. He's been after for quite a while now. Long ball, Bergamy. McHale, can he get to that one? It was a nice back roll, but Jahel in the way. Wilkinson and Bergamy there. So a timeout will be called in just a moment by South Perth Alliance. There it is. So 11.5 minutes to go now in this game. Massive remainder of the game to come. It's looking like Inter are in control, especially in this second half. South Perth are really struggling to get the shots off and to find the opportunities. It's been Inter really threatening the goals for the second half. South Perth did have a few moments towards the end of the first half, in fact, where they could have almost got an equaliser but weren't able to do it. And 2 goals is now the deficit for them to overcome. Obviously, after this game here tonight, we will have a break over the Christmas and New Year period, and then we'll be back in early to mid-Jan. So, obviously, this one is the last game of 2025, and it's been a high quality one. 2 teams with a lot to play for, and South Perth have come to play. Inter are no easy feat for anyone, and South Perth obviously sitting, as I mentioned, down in the lower rungs of the ladder, but they have taken it to them, and despite the 2-goal deficit, they've had their chances, and if not for some Dan Formato heroics earlier in this game, it could be a very different story right now. But they do have a lot of time to correct the scoreline from their perspective. Bo Haynes, McHale, Haynes, Bergamy. Will he go back to Haynes? No. He'll set up again, and that ball by McHale never really going to find a target. Here's a long ball. Wilkinson goes long. Alagoda will finish this, and he should. Keeper's out. Can't square it. We tried to, but now it's a 2-on-1. Haynes goes to Bergamy. Look at Bergamy! And another massive save! Dan Formato. Unbelievable. I just mentioned him. And that is a certain goal that has been thwarted away by Formato. The 2-on-1 was utilised by Haynes and Bergamy. And what a save it was. Haynes, nice first touch, gets a shot off and wide. It'll be Formato now. Uses Alagoda short. Now the press is on from South Perth. Putting all sorts of pressure on. Lost by Nagendra and they're forced to turn over in a dangerous spot. And they'll steady. Haynes, they probably should have gone a bit earlier because they had Inter out of position. But they've still got a chance. But the only thing is now Inter are set up defensively. Mikhail to Haynes. Nice back roll to Mikhail's shot. Nowhere near it. It hasn't been his night so far, but a night can quickly turn in futsal. All it takes is a goal. Wilkinson. Can you get that through? Doesn't reach Syed. Haynes is there. Dindial down the line, and Wilkinson and Formato will just smash that into the wall. Came out strongly. And it'll be Benji Mikhail's ball. Dindial, Mikhail, Pierce, space. He tries to go around, Alagoda gets it through and catches the side net. And was it last off of Formato? It appears to have been, unless there was a deflection, but it will be an Alliance ball regardless. Here is Dindial from the corner as they just fix up the goals, making sure it's all on the line. Dindial, Mikhail, can you keep it down? He can! It's a goal! And South Perth Alliance, as I mentioned about 30 seconds ago, hasn't been his night, really, for anyone from South Perth. And Mikhail, things can turn very quickly. He kept it down and it ended up finding the bottom left. And 2-1 now. South Perth are alive and kicking in this game. And then all of a sudden, you can expect a change in momentum. And they're going to put some pressure on. Here comes De Silva there, putting some pressure on. Now Pierce with the pressure. Nagendra gets it through. Almost Syed. De Silva has Dindial on the run. Syed gets back defensively. Great effort there by Lukman Syed. Here's Mikhail. Pierce. And they've got a bit of a pep in their step now, South Perth. Ever since that goal, seem to have a bit of momentum, but they won't be rewarded with some possession here. It's going to be a foul called. 3 for South Perth, 1 for Inter. Here's Syed. Houston, defended by De Silva. De Silva wins it, but can he get onto the ball? He can't pounce. Formato long. Mikhail now long and too long on that occasion. Here's Houston, he'll go straight past Syed. And Pierce will leave for Rungswan. Pierce, Mikhail, Pierce. Back to Benji Mikhail, the goal scorer from just a moment ago. He'll get it back here, and he'll take it down the line. He's quick. So is Alagoda. Just heavy on that last touch there. Mikhail couldn't keep going. Here's a chance for Alagoda. But Rungswan came flying in, copped the hit to the head. And there will just be a small break in play now. Hopefully all is okay with Rungswan. He came out bravely, slid and cleared it. Alagoda was lurking. You will see on that replay, he did cop a hit to the head. It was after the challenge. I believe he came out sliding and then Alagoda accidentally just caught his head on the way down. But hopefully all is okay, but South Perth Alliance are back in this game, and if Rungswan can't go ahead, which we hope is not the case, obviously a change will be made. In goals. So it'll be interesting to see what they do if that is the case. But hopefully he is okay. He looks okay. I don't believe they have a backup keeper lined up here tonight, so obviously an outfield player will have to take that role, but it looks like he may be good to go. So you can't be too careful with head injuries these days. But it looks like he's all okay, just copped a knock. And Rungswan is good to go and he's back in this game. I believe it's an inter ball. It was cleared by Rungswan, so it would have been last off him. Alagoda to take. He'll give it off to Syed, back to Alagoda. Now Houston under pressure, but now takes it down the line brilliantly. Now cuts inboard. Now tries to go the other way. Beats his man and goal! What a goal! McKendron, Ches Houston with a bit of magic on the far flank. He took it down one way, then cut it inboard and then went straight back down the line. And it finds Nagendran for the tap in. And what a crucial bit of play there by Ches Houston. He did the hard work and Nagendran finished it off. Bit of individual brilliance from Houston there, now creating a 2-goal buffer again. And South Perth will have to work so hard to get back in it. And almost immediately, the Silver causing problems for Inter. Houston. Hamadi, now Alagoda down the line. Mikhail there. Rungswan, Mikhail, did brilliantly. And such a good battle seeing the speed of Alagoda and Mikhail going at it down the line. Dindio gets it in, but Formato there. 8 minutes to go, 3-1 the lead for Inter. About where you would expect these two teams to be if you go by ladder position. 3-1 probably about fair. If you also go by possession in the passing game, probably about similar as well. As Inter now look to make this lead 4-2-1. Hamadi. Houston. Hamadi. He keeps it in, but holding up well was the Silver. Now Pierce. He'll reset and he'll find Dindio. Dindio long. What a ball! This could be finished. It's not. Unbelievable ball by Nixon Dindio. And just how holding up was Dan Formato on the goal line. And that's a nice bit of play. Houston's on it. Uses his body well. Can he get through? He can't. Burgundy there. Now Pierce. Pearson's going to go. He'll go out wide, Willie. He loses it. Crucially, it's a one-on-one chance. Wide right on the Nagendran shot and no rolling foul called. And now the rolling foul is called. That's now 4 fouls on South Perth. So they'll be walking a fine line for the next 7 minutes of play. Hamadi will bring in the corner ball here. Houston gets it through. Dindio, Houston, Hamadi.
Excellent, Luca. Get up, man!
And Hamadi goes down, and that's 5 fouls.
here. That falls like nothing. I hit the gym, man. Yeah, but if your hands are straight, it's not a foul. He's not pushing if his hands are straight. If the target's backing up against me, I put my hands up, it's not a foul.
There's a bit of discussion there between the third referee and Benji McHale. After that foul call, that is now Hamadi. I thought that was 5 fouls, but I must be wrong. It's now 4 fouls. 4 fouls on South Perth, that is correct. Houston now. Alagoda, Hamadi, and Haynes clears. So that foul earlier was the 3rd, in fact. I think the score board got it wrong. So 4 fouls for South Perth, 1 for Inter. Bergamy, Pierce, Dindio, and cleared there by Nagendran. Here's a long ball. Alagoda's there. Alagoda takes off. And the ball ends up in touch. Haynes out to McHale. McHale to Peru. Bergamy, that's wide, but off the deflection of Nagendran. Luca Bergamy to take. Bergamy, Peru, chance and catches crossbar. That's the 3rd time that hit the post tonight. South Perth. Here's Hamadi. Down the line, does brilliantly, still going, and in comes Peru. Big tackles. Hamadi climbs the wall like Spider-Man. Here is Houston, down the line. McHale on the block. 6 minutes to go now. South Perth do need one soon. They can't afford one here. Houston, saved by Runks 1. Now they've got a chance on the counter. But just too much on that from McHale. Azimi to Nagendran. Bit of holding here.
Yes, Luca.
And is a foul called.
Wow.
Is that a foul called? Looks like not, and it looks like just a side ball for Inter. Here's Azimi. Haynes to Runks 1. Runks 1 to Haynes.
Middle.
Haynes, he had McHale for a moment, but ends up going to Bergamy. Long ball. And now Formato playing out of goals. And he can do this well. And he's still out there. Dan Formato.
Get back, bro.
Long ball all the way back to Hamadi. And Formato returns. Now Hamadi through. Good ball. Azimi. Haynes does well. Now a chance. They've got to go quick. They'll reset though. And there's a turnover.
Easy, guys.
Hamadi, Nagendran. Back to Hamadi. Nice feint. Now uses Houston. Nagendran. Hamadi down the line. Keeps it in. And it may have just been out.
Well done, boys.
And it was. Couldn't keep it in. Benji McHale's ball.
Ref, he started early.
And it looks like a card may be given to Yanas Hamadi here.
That's 2, no?
And there it is. The yellow card given, he went early, and he'll come off for a sub.
He cheated off the kick, and then he came off and took it.
Here's McHale to bring it in. Here he goes. Out to Peru and way over the crossbar. Got way too far under it. Here's Nagendran. Under pressure from Haynes. Dangerous, but Jebhel onto it. Azimi. Kale back. Jahel. We're under 5 minutes to go now in this game. Houston does well to get it to Nagendran. Is a foul going to be called? No. And that's 4. It would have been 5 fouls. 4 fouls for South Perth. Here's McHale. Off to Cato, and no one there to receive. 3-1 still the lead. South Perth, though, they've found a few opportunities in the last few minutes. As here is Lukman Saeed, and on for Inter Perth now, newly substituted. And as that ball goes through from Jahel, and Houston couldn't quite find his man. That's Daniel Ryan coming on from the junior leagues for his first minutes. Potentially in the MSL. First time I've seen him play. So it'd be good to see if he can have an impact. Here's Cato. Haynes. That's all the way back now. South Perth playing around with it a bit in defence.
Shot, yeah!
Here is Peru. Peru with Houston defending.
Yes, easy, help him.
All the way back they'll go now, and Rungswan will keep it in. And he'll go long and too long. Always going to be hard for Haynes to control that. Here's Houston. Formato, and here's Daniel Ryan. Will he receive? No. Yes, he will.
Yes,
Here's
Bo,
Ryan.
yes, Bo. Well done, Bo.
Ball out into touch. Haynes putting good pressure and actually wins the ball for his team. And Cato just go for it here. Let's have a shot. Looks like he will. There's the shot. Big block there. And by Ryan. Getting involved early in his first appearance. Cato again. And this one's gone in, has it? No! Somehow it hasn't. They've had a few of those chances, South Perth, where it just has avoided the goal somehow.
Good, boys, good.
Chance now still for Alliance. Will the 5th man be implemented? Find out soon. Very shortly. There's the block. Now McHale, the lone goal scorer for South Perth Alliance this evening. Chance and a goal! Bo Haynes absolutely hammers that into the back of the net, and not even Formato could stop that one. And South Perth are back in it. What a strike of the ball. And you'll see that on the replay. And there it is. Almost put a hole in the net, the amount of velocity that was behind that ball. And 3-2 is the score. 52 seconds to go here at Subiaco. And Inter are not home yet. What a game. 3-2 the score. Can they work a way back into this, South Perth, by equalising? They're already back in it. Now the discussion in the huddle for South Perth is about trying to find a hole in this defence. Inter, just as you thought, they might be home and hosed. They've still got some work to do if they want to hold on here. Only one goal separating the two teams, and really, with the amount of saves that Formato's made, as well as a few posters in here as well, South Perth Alliance have not been that far off Inter all game. Yes, Inter have had a number of chances, and they've probably had more of them. But Alliance have been so close on so many occasions they could be up. But Inter, as well drilled as they are, they take some beating. And they're going to take some effort from South Perth to try and break through their defensive lines. As Syed almost got through Alliance immediately there. 3 minutes and 17 seconds remaining. Long ball by Mikhail. Can Cato keep it in? He can. And that'll be off of Syed. South Perth still pushing. And if they get a goal here, you can imagine the scenes. Here's Bo Haynes. Goes one way, then goes the other. Had another shot.
Not too much, not too much.
After scoring just a moment ago, Pierce to Haynes. And now Mikhail. Haynes. Deflection there from Alagoda. Pierce finds Mikhail. They reset. And Inter trying not to let South Perth get easy possession here. Mikhail. Bit of height on that ball, but falls for Haynes. Under pressure from two defenders. And he'll keep the possession for South Perth, Willie. Syed goes to collect. It's an Alliance possession. The wall and the defence set up for Inter. 2.5 minutes remaining. In what has been an intense game from the get-go. Benji Mikhail. Off to Haynes. Back to Mikhail. Goes to Pierce. Pierce now with landed a beat. He'll reset to Mikhail. Haynes through the two defenders. Can he get a shot off? He can! And Formato there making the save. And now the pressure from South Perth, the high press. And the clearance will be a turnover. South Perth get the ball back. Haynes. Pierce to Mikhail. What a moment in their season, South Perth. If they can find a point in this game against Inter. Pierce. Cato. Back to Pierce. Chance, all sorts of space for Haynes. Shot. Big block by Syed. And now they've got a chance. Lander gets to it. Lander with a shot. And wide left. And Orang's one now for South Perth. Can they find an equaliser? Benji Mikhail 1-on-1 with Syed. Gets a shot off, and that's wide left. And as you see, he's good down the line. Found a way to get the shot. But Syed did have it covered, I assume, from this angle if he had been on target. Long ball by Formato. What a throw. Chance for Alagoda to seal the game. And so close. And you think that would have been enough to get Inter home. But South Perth live to breathe. They live to fight another day. Here is Haynes. Cato back to Mikhail. Mikhail turns it over, has he? Syed, great defence that was by Jahel. Now Alagoda. And they've got to put pressure on, otherwise Inter will do this all day for this last minute. Syed to Lander. Pierce putting pressure on. Now the turnover. Here's the counter. Cato. Alagoda came flying in. And the foul will be called and no rolling foul. It'll be South Perth ball. I think that's the second foul for the half for Inter. That won't be of any relevance. The only relevance here is that the Alliance have a chance. And to be taken by De Silva. Mikhail through Cato. All the way back to Pierce. De Silva down the line. Alagoda up to the challenge. What a defensive stop. And Alagoda with a shot. Big save by Runkswan. Pierce now. Is that going to be off him? I think it is. And a big contest. Pierce and Alagoda going at it. 39 seconds remaining. Both players go tumbling to the turf. Here's the long ball. Syed there. Cato. And that'll be last off South Perth, is it? No. It'll be an Alliance ball. 34 seconds remaining now. O'Connor, they've got to go Alliance. Mikhail. Pierce. Back to Mikhail. Now Cato. He's got space. Mikhail. He has the silver.
Take it!
Or he might have a shot himself. And wide right. What a goal that would have been. 18 seconds to go.
Let's go, boys! Come on!
They've got to win the ball back, Alliance. And then get it past Dan Formato to scramble a point out of this game. They'll get a chance here because Syed won't reach. They've got 12 seconds to go the length of the court. Here's Runtuan, and he's going to go. Turnover almost, and now he's going to go quick. 8 seconds to go. Mikhail there, as he's able to go to chance. Haynes, Houston, and they'll just run the clock out now. And you think that's going to be it? And into Perth. Hold on. 3-2 the win. Mikhail not happy, but what a game. No foul called in that last moment. Inter Perth held on. They were under the pump for the last few moments of that game, and unfortunately for South Perth, a lot of hard work, but no result. And we will be back with you in the new year. Thank you for watching, and have a great Christmas and New Year's ahead. And we'll be seeing you very soon in January. Thank you for watching.